Welcome to the 245 podcast, which is the number of weddings that I am in July.
Shut up.
What?
You're in 2.
Well, it's close to 245.
I guess
so.
that's a good point.
I mean, it's closer to 245 than 246. So, anyways, I'm in Joey's wedding, as you guys know, but I'm also in this other couple's wedding who just so happened to be on the podcast today. Introducing Caleb and Jaylin. Hey, guys.
Heyo.
Mr. Hustedde in the room.
Mr. Sus Daddy is in the house.
That's me.
Yeah.
And
Jaylin.
And Jaylin.
Soon to be bride.
Soon to be Mrs.
Soon to be Jaylin Hustedde.
Hustedde.
I literally have a student who calls me Hustedde. He's like, Mr. Hustedde, and I can't tell if he's doing it like on purpose or not, but it's a little uncomfy.
Yeah, I'm a groomsman. Groomsman for Caleb. And we actually, are we still going on the bachelor party next week?
Yes, next week. I was actually just texting Merwin and Mike about that today because I'm like, I sort of know what I want to do, but not really. So I'm just kind of going to.
What are we doing? Laser tag?
Well, I wanted to like try whirly ball and stuff, but
we got to do that. You know they have laser tag and whirly ball there, right?
Right, but I don't think you can do it like with 6 people. I think you have to like reserve the whole space and then bring like a group, which we maybe could with 6, but it's like $400 for like an hour, and I'm like,
I just want to say for the record, for all of y'all who are like wedding planning, that it is much easier to plan a bachelor party than it is to plan a bachelorette party.
That's because you make it harder on yourself.
No.
That's a fact. That is a stone cold fact.
No.
If you put way less like effort and like putting in like all the little details.
Amen, brother.
If I had planned it myself, I would have been fine. But like with like all these different schedules and like girls are just like really busy and like I just am not a super decisive person. So people like send me things and I'm like, sure, that sounds great. I don't really care. Like somebody just needs to pick what we're doing. So yeah.
It's easier to plan a wedding than a bridal shower even. Gotta add that on.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
it was funny because Caleb texted like, what is it, like 6 guys, and we're like, does this night work? And literally everyone said yes.
Well, I was in the room with you, so I was like, all right, if Mike is free, like we're probably set. And then I just texted everyone else a date that worked for you and me, and they're like, yep, that works.
I'm kind of notorious for being busy on days that that Jaylin's family wants to do things. So
it's true.
Caleb had to check with me first. 'Cause,
I mean, does everyone know, like the listeners, do they know that you are dating my sister?
I mean, they know I'm dating Kylie, but
I mean, she's literally been sitting in your chair.
But do they know that Jaylin Schumacher is my sister?
I don't know. Some probably do, but a lot probably don't too. So
there you have it.
We've had 3 out of 4 Schumachers on. So your mom is the only one that hasn't been on yet because your dad was on early on.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. She's been in the movie. We got to do a DiCapo podcast episode.
With just the
talk about behind the scenes.
Cast and crew. I hope you guys get your bridal party planned. I don't know.
Oh, it's coming together finally.
Okay.
We're getting it figured
because
out.
first you had to figure out the bridal shower, and now you have like a bridal party. There's so many things that girls do.
What are you guys doing for your party?
Well, it's on a Sunday afternoon because everyone else is really busy.
Sabbath.
So hey.
You can party on the Sabbath.
Yeah, you can like have fun and hang out.
As long as there's drinking.
Oh my gosh.
The Sabbath is a Saturday, so get it right.
True. Anyways, so I'm singing at Eaglebrook that weekend. So we're not doing anything till the afternoon, and we're just gonna go to brunch, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna like do like, this is gonna sound really girly, but I promise it's fun. We're gonna do a jewelry making party. Joey, I see you.
Oh shoot, I forget. She can see through that window.
But it's like we're like making rings. We're like literally like welding metal to like make jewelry. So there you go.
You're welding metal.
Yeah, are you doing this in like your dad's garage, or are you just like
No, there's like
somewhere?
a professional person that like does it. Like you go to like her studio and she has all the materials and all the equipment and she teaches you how to make jewelry.
So everyone's making a ring.
Everyone is making a ring. Yes.
Wow. Well, that's good to know if I ever want to go on a welding party for my future bachelor party. Anyways.
What would you do, Mike, for your bachelor party?
You know, I really like the laser tag idea.
You can't go wrong with that.
I love what we're doing for you, Joey, too. I just don't know if I want to plan that much, but I'll enjoy going on it since I'm not doing any of the planning. But I think laser tag would be a good way to go. If they kidnapped me, put me in a trunk, and I don't know, brought me around the city, that would work too.
Like that episode of The Office where they kidnap Angela.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Just like that.
My dad shot televisions for his
that's a spoiler.
Because he was a new Christian and everything on TV was terrible. Was kind of the consensus there. So he was like, I want to shoot televisions. So they went out.
I like that.
They spent some time in the hot tub outside. I think it was negative degree weather, and they're out in the hot tub, and then they went and shot televisions, and it was just
Dude, that's a bachelor party.
That
right
is.
there.
But
them.
that's a thing now. You can go and there's junkyards that you can pay them $50 for an hour to just smash junk. Literally, I'm not. Literally, with a baseball bat, you can just go and you can just hit stuff.
I've never heard of doing it in a junkyard. I've seen the people that have rooms where you can go and just hit vases and glass stuff with a baseball bat before. Never heard of doing it in a junkyard though. But
No, yeah, I had a friend that did it.
Either would be fun. I would also go. I don't know. I was gonna say axe throwing, but that's too basic. Axe throwing is fun though.
It's a good time.
That's not basic. That sounds fun.
I've done it a couple times. I think shooting things would be fun, but
I can take you.
yeah.
If you want to do that, I'll set that up for you, Mike.
Okay, perfect. If you're my best mate, just kidding. Controversial.
Hey,
he's weaseling his way in already.
whatever you make, I'm not gonna be a Karen about it, no matter what, unless
be a
you don't.
Karen.
Hey,
make
that's my
me.
mom's name. Back off.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Hey.
Do you know that
She makes Karen's reputations go up.
Okay, well,
She's a great Karen.
do you know that ever since that became a meme, the name Karen has gone down in usage 500% for babies.
Oh, I bet.
Oh yeah.
It's also 2023 and nobody names their kid Karen anymore. So
Yep.
there's that.
Yeah.
Everyone's naming their baby weird stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like Aspen and or I saw this one
Aspirin.
that was I saw
Tylenol.
this no I was literally looking at a list of weird names and I saw like Cadelin or
Cadelin?
someone
a
named
boy name or a girl?
their kid
Well, you gotta keep it
Sunday.
neutral these days.
I don't know.
That's true.
I don't want to try.
I think Kim Kardashian started it when she named her daughter North. I'm pretty sure that's what started that trend
North.
of weird baby
That's kind
names.
of I don't know. That's a weird
That's
one,
not
but
a
I
bad
feel like
one.
it kind of works.
Of
Yeah.
all the directions, that's the best one.
Well, yeah, but the full name is Northwest. That's literally
Oh,
someone
because it's
getting-
Kanye West.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
How did I not know that? That's so disappointing.
And then
I did
when
not
they
know that
die
either.
and they get cremated, it'll be Northwest CERN. You like that one, Joey?
No, that hurt every cell in my body.
Yeah. Shout out Northwestern
That was
University of
really,
Northwestern.
really good.
Gonna do the podcast.
How are you guys' weeks? What'd you guys do? Oh, we had a big weekend over at the Schumacher house. We had Kylie's grad
Yeah.
party, which was a good time.
That was a good time.
There's a lot of setup to do.
Mm-hmm.
There was some
There's some stress.
there were some high tension moments before the
That's what
The
you
party.
get when you raise your kids to be theater kids.
Hey.
Whoa.
Joey just dropped his headphones.
Joey
and
literally just
about to
had to
walk
walk out. No, I mean, here's the deal though. When you decide to use balloons as decorations, you just add 10 times the amount of stress,
Yep.
automatically. And then when you create a balloon arch from scratch, not you just go to Party City and you're like, hey, can you make me a balloon arch? And I'll pick it up. It's no, I'm going to craft a balloon arch and then somehow attach it to a beam in a garage. It adds stress. And it looked
Yeah.
great.
worth
It
it.
turned out great. It was totally worth it. But
worth it.
it just, it's
Yeah.
a lot of setup time.
Yeah. It was all right. We had some good canes, crumble cookie.
I got too late for Canes and I'm so disappointed.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was at church.
You showed up after the party was over.
it was
So that was your own fault.
7:50.
Okay.
The party
close
was still going.
There were 10
For
minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
enough. Yeah. Well, the canes probably ran out around 7
Yeah, I
o'clock.
ran out a little early.
What?
So pretty early. Well, because they ordered too much for yours, Jaylin, and then they
Yep.
kind of scaled back, and then they scaled back a little bit too much, I guess. But it was good. At like around 7 o'clock, I like grabbed a piece of canes when there wasn't much left. I turned around, and Kylie sees me with it, and she's like, "Micah, you can't eat that."
Death glare.
I was like,
I know.
Watch.
"No,
Mike and I
I
had
took another."
canes for lunch and dinner, and we're the reason you didn't get any joy. We're so sorry,
Yeah,
but not too sorry.
but me and Joey lost again in spike ball to Johnny and Justin twice, which was kind of tragic. But
Wow.
Rip.
But overall, it was a very fun time celebrating Kylie K, and we love her very much.
yep,
Yeah, we're actually both directing theater camps this week. So
Big.
theater kids.
That might be the worst thing ever. that tell me about, is it just like the biggest struggle ever? Like, I've been to soccer camps. They are so much work. The only way I think you could make it worse is at theater kids. And then I think you might have it.
See, but they're like young, like they're like elementary schoolers and like early middle school,
Early middle schoolers.
like 12-year-olds and
12-year-old girls. Theater kids.
Lots of screaming. Lots of treble.
are there any romantic relationships forming between
of
the
course.
guys and girls?
How is that your question?
I don't know, because I was imagining like little girls like crushing over boys in the theater camp.
He's just remembering his personal showmans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Had a lot of those. Oh, that's
You know, compared to the public schools, the theater camp is a dream. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I
Wow.
just tell them to do it. They do it. Like most of them want to be there. It's fun.
it's good. So
We're
yeah,
doing Sioux School Junior. Come
Yeah.
see it June 23rd to 24th, which will be passed by the time this gets posted. But
yeah, this gets posted
I'm
on
assuming.
June 30th. So yeah.
Oof. Yeah. Well, I hope it went well. Hope it didn't rain. It's outside.
Oh, it's outside.
Yeah.
I'm going to that.
Mine's
So
inside.
It's
Okay.
rained like twice all summer, so you should be fine.
hopefully. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about. So Caleb, you're doing Sioux School Junior. Have you ever done or seen that show before? Or?
Yeah, I haven't done it. I've seen it. The same group actually did it with high schoolers, but now they're doing the junior version with like ages 8 to 14. So
Okay.
it's like an hour long, so it's a good length, not too long. And
Yeah.
the kids bring some good energy. It's been a ton of fun to kind of ease into summer because I went right from finishing up school to this, which is more chill. It's like 4-hour days, so
Yeah.
it's a vibe.
It's good to have something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I saw
Oh.
Sioux School Junior when Avail did it. I think Kylie was in seventh
7th grade.
grade.
Mhm.
Who was Kylie?
She was a bird girl and
Yes.
Yertle
No.
the turtle.
Oh yeah, she was the little turtle. And yeah,
Order in the car.
I didn't know her back then, so
Yeah.
but it was a good show. And then Jaylin, you're doing Jungle Book,
I
right?
am doing the Jungle Book.
How's
Yes.
that? I've never
Um,
seen it in a musical form.
Oh, it's not a musical. It's just a play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm not coming.
It's long days. That's okay. It's long days. It's 9 to 4, so 7 hours with the kiddos. It's fun. I mean, I'm like the director, so I basically like cast it and have, blocked it all and have taught the kids pretty much everything. But then I have some great like other adults who are on the team that work with like groups of students to work on like different skills to help them like project and actually, act when they're on stage.
Usually helpful.
Yeah, so it's a team of us, but it's fun to kind of be the leader and yeah. The kids are fun. They're funny. I mean, like I think my favorite kid story is the other day kids were coming up to me with questions and a little girl came up to me and I thought she just had like a question about what we were doing. And she said, Miss Jaylin, you remind me of someone.
Oh boy.
And just like
This could go a
stopped.
lot of directions.
And I was like, oh, okay. Who do I remind you of? Because now I'm like curious. And she's like, Anna.
Oh, from Frozen.
That's what I was like, from Frozen. She's like, yeah. And then just ran away. I didn't even have a chance to respond. She just like ran away after
Theater
telling me
kids.
this. So I was like,
Facts.
oh, thank you. Like, yeah, cool. I mean,
Does
but
she have
Lo-
reddish hair?
What?
Does she have reddish hair?
No,
Anna?
but
No.
I have reddish hair, so.
Well, that's why I asked.
Oh. Oh, you're saying Anna has reddish hair. Yeah,
Yeah.
Anna has red hair.
Audio only podcast. Gotta fill them in.
Yeah.
Nice hosting
That's
there,
true.
okay.
But I mean, low key though, I was like, I've always wanted to like be a Disney princess at Disney World. That was like my dream growing up, like my dream job. Joey is just like, wow, have so much more material to roast Jaylin with after this podcast.
I'm choosing to be rise above.
You know what? Thanks,
Be the bigger.
man.
Be the bigger
You
man.
do that.
So I won't say.
He'll
anything.
wait till we're done recording.
So anyways, I wanted to like this was more like summer job in college. I was like, what if I just went and did that? So anyways, but now I don't feel like I need to anymore because I just am a princess in real life.
It's a certifiable fact.
Jaylin's holding a softball right in front of Joey, throws it up.
Just lobbing it up there.
Well,
I'm
you
just
know,
choosing not to step in the
when
batter's box.
kids say you remind them of a Disney princess, it's kind of like, okay, now I don't need to go be one, you know?
I just want to interview that girl. I want to get her on the podcast.
Yeah.
And just ask some questions.
Yeah.
There's some questions.
I did yell at kids today though, so maybe not anymore.
Oh.
And you're gone.
So wait, are you both like you're the director, or Caleb, are you the musical director?
I'm directing just music, but she's the big kahuna. So
Okay. Is this your first show you've like directed by yourself, Jaylin?
No, actually, I have directed a couple things. One of the one acts at Northwestern 2 years ago, I directed, and so that was all by myself. But obviously on a much smaller scale because it was with college students. So this is probably my like first big show.
Hey, one acts are the big show. Come on. now.
Right. True.
Mine especially.
Yes. So, anyways, yeah.
Well, I think it'd be kind of fun to talk a little bit about. Let's get Joey more in the conversation, maybe.
Well, I'm fine. I have a wealth of
Other than
information
just,
about
you know,
directing theater shows.
Yeah.
Other than his interjecting about, my weird
Dreams.
personality.
I didn't say anything about your
Princess Dream.
personality. I just thought some things about Disney princesses in my head and kept it to myself. That's all. That's all.
Well, I thought it'd be fun to just quick talk about any like high school memories we have. Sorry, Caleb, you're gonna not really be a part of this part, but you can learn a
I'll
little
learn
bit
some
maybe.
things. Yeah. Yeah.
Caleb, did you go to a public high school or a private high school?
I did not actually.
Here we
I'm
go.
So glad you asked.
Oh, just wait.
I was.
No, please
It's
don't.
true.
Please,
It's
no, no.
I'm sorry.
guys. Get me off this podcast. I can't. They're outnumbering us, Jaylin.
We are.
It's crazy.
I was homeschooled for longer than Micah Clark. So
The
I'm
Schumachers
extra
like those
awkward.
homeschoolers.
I guess we do.
They like the homeschoolers.
I work.
The homeschoolers got the riz, man. I'm just saying.
That is the biggest lie I've ever heard. Biggest lie I've ever heard, right there.
Just these homeschoolers.
To be
Just
fair too, I will say this. He was like a very social guy growing up, and he went to like colleges like towards the end of high school and
Hey,
did
I
like
had my
college
co-ops,
classes.
all right?
Yeah.
Co-op.
I was really trying to like bail you out there, but
No, there's no hiding.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
No, I was a homeschooler. I own that. I don't know if I'd homeschool my kids, but anyway, we're not
wouldn't.
talking about me. We're not talking about me.
Yeah. Anyways, any fun high school memories, Jaylin, of me and Joey, or we can talk about. Joey loves talking about when he was in our town and stuff.
Guys, no.
Which is the only show that all three of us were in.
that is true.
Was Our Town?
Our town.
Can you remind me of what was that one about?
It's the one where you were my dad.
Yeah, right. Everyone dies.
And it
in
was
the
about
end,
death.
right?
Yeah, it's
Spoilers.
kind of sad.
Jaylin was not my mom, but she was
I was your mother-in-law.
mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm. And now I'm. I was gonna say
Yep.
something, and
Nope.
now nope.
Yep. Stop. Yep. There you go. Move
Don't make it
on.
weird.
Yeah. Don't make it weird.
It was a fun show. I mean, I enjoyed it because I'm a theater kid, but although like here's what I'll say about that. I actually don't feel like I'm a like stereotypical theater kid. Like I just really enjoy it.
I would
but,
agree.
I'm not like singing show tunes down the hall like everybody like thinks theater kids do, which some of them
Yeah.
do, but I'm not really like that.
I mean, at Avail, we didn't really have like because like at a lot of public high schools, there's the stereotypical theater kids, and that's all they do. But because
Yeah.
Avail was so small, like so many people like did sports and theater or did whatever in theater. So it was a lot of, I wouldn't say we had any stereotypical
Cool people did theater
kids.
at Avail. Calvin.
Joey, chill.
Joey, you did theater. You can like own that.
No, I can't. Because if I could go back, I probably
No.
wouldn't do it.
Theater teaches you valuable skills in life.
Like what skills?
Like public speaking and being or comfortable being in front of people.
I mean,
And just like confidence in general.
Yeah.
Like,
theater teaches you confidence in general.
And
It
like
does.
you have to be able to
hey,
like
for us homeschoolers, we need something.
it helps you to be more comfortable in front of people because some people are like deathly afraid of public speaking, but when you're not yourself, you're like pretending to be someone else, it can kind of ease that fear a little bit. And then you also have to memorize like a crap ton of stuff. Sorry, this is a clean podcast.
Said the C word.
We'll be bleeping crap out.
Yeah. Well, I looked on your ratings, so I did my homework. I was prepared.
It's okay. I said a bad word last week
You
when
did.
I was talking about
Micah.
when I got pulled over by your house the other night.
Oh my gosh. Micah, I didn't talk to you about this. I literally saw that cop. I was on my phone.
No, you left
I
like
saw the cop out of the corner of my eye. I thought, oh gosh, I should turn off YouTube maybe while I'm driving so the cop doesn't pull me over. I stopped completely because I have been in that same situation before where a cop's just been chilling. You like barely roll and like literally pulled me over before. So that's so funny because the same night, same cop.
That's like the first time we've ever left the house at the same exact time. And yeah, you left like a minute before me. And
I should have warned you.
You could have warned me. The thing is,
Sorry.
I didn't barely roll. I full on rolled.
The reason I got into theater is for the girls, and it turned out pretty good for me.
Hey,
Hey.
that's number one reason to get in theater. I'll take that. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Every girl loves a guy serenading them with a show tune.
Every guy loves Peter Pan.
Well, I don't know about that.
Anyways, Jaylin, so you were in Our Town. That was your senior year. And
That
Little Women
my
was your senior year.
Yep, which I've actually heard discussed a lot on the podcast. So
Yeah,
that's
Mike.
Little Women?
Mike loves to bring that up for some reason.
other guests bring
Nothing
it up
happened.
too.
Nothing. Well, it's because it was the best show that we were in Avail. I think.
Yeah,
I mean, that's my opinion.
it was. Yeah, probably.
Like the
Joey's
best
trying to
performed-
make comments about
the
me.
best performed, or like it's the best show, like most well written, best.
Well, you're just like the
Right.
most fun show that Avail did when we were there. I
Best
think.
leading man.
Yep. Which
That's what he's really trying to
Yeah.
say.
the main guy was really good, except when I had to go up and down the octaves in those songs because I'm not a freaking tenor.
and I'm pretty sure that I was one of the people that said, "Micah, you need to audition."
You
for
did.
Wizard of Oz.
I've talked about this on the podcast. I remember one of the early
Mhm.
episodes.
Yeah,
Did you feel like you had confidence to build, or
I mean,
She's like, this guy needs a lot of work done.
no, no,
He's-
no, no.
This
She said,
homeschooler.
"I mean," and then pause.
No,
Just say yes.
I
Just
was
say yes,
saying-
Jaylin.
what I was saying was like Micah was like very like shy and quiet when he came to Avail,
classic homeschooler?
and at the time,
I only knew like 3 people. It was pretty justified.
right? I told you I am also shy and quiet when I come to new places. So, and I don't like know people. And I remember this was in I think the fall. You had very bravely asked me about playing guitar for worship team,
Yep.
and we had you do a little audition or whatever.
I remember that. We were sitting in 301,
Yep.
right on the edge of the table.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Anderson
Yeah.
was right also there.
Yeah, she was.
That was pretty. Actually, I think I was more intimidated by you than her.
Oh my gosh. No. I mean,
Jaylen's so intimidating.
I've been told
She
people
is.
in high school did tell me that they were intimidated by me, like when they first met me, like new people that came to Calvin Avail or whatever. And I just didn't understand because I'm just, I'm me. Like,
Well, yeah. I'm not intimidated by you anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously, but
obviously.
no, but you were like, I mean, you're really talented at like praise team and theater, and like you were, you were a popular person. Like I know it's popular as a
I know
loose-
it's hard to believe.
It's a
but
loose term in
I know, right?
at Avail High School, but like I would say that you were one of the popular people. So like it was intimidating.
Oh, well, thank you.
but yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, and And I remember like you were really good, and then you would also sing, and you could like, you know, you had a little bit of a voice on you. And so I was like, you know, this guy needs to audition because we need more guys in theater. The perpetual problem of theater. So yeah.
Exactly. And I did it.
You got hooked.
Yeah. I did
Caught
that
the
because of
bug.
you and Praise Team. Because I actually was not going to sing originally in Praise Team. And then
Then
you
I
were like,
made
then you made
you.
me sing. And it worked out.
And
So
now we're making him do a Northwestern show, right, Micah?
we'll see.
We'll see.
That would be crazy.
But yeah, we'll see about that. I still got a few months to decide that.
Mhm.
Talk a little bit about, I mean, you guys are both in this situation. Talk about being like 2-3 weeks away from opening Peter Pan and then COVID shutting it down. What was that like?
Brutal.
Oh,
man.
yeah,
It's
that
brutal.
was-
Because Caleb, you were Peter Pan.
I was back on spring break learning how to fly. Like, and to be honest, it was maybe good it closed down because we were not ready. And like, yeah, I was struggling a little bit. I mean, I was struggling with the flying by the time we actually ended up doing it too. But like, you don't have much time to learn because it's only there for like a week. But
Mhm.
yeah, we had just a few people back, just the people flying and like the crew who were helping with that. And it was crazy. Like, none of us were like expecting the show to like actually get, you know,
Totally.
postponed.
Like, yeah.
Right.
Like
And-
we thought we'd come back in 3 weeks and then just do
Right.
it then.
Yeah.
But we showed up that I think it was maybe a Thursday to rehearsal, and Iris is like, "We can't
We can't
rehearse today.
rehearse
We need
today."
to strike the set, like just you guys." So then I don't know, the dozen of us there had to strike the whole set.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Took like the whole day, but
And I
it
mean,
was
you
pretty sad. But
you saw the set. Like pretty
Yeah.
much everything that was in that show was mostly built,
Yeah.
not everything, but
but the
Yeah,
big
a
stuff
lot
was
of the
like
big stuff.
almost finished.
Yeah.
Like that giant pirate ship.
Right.
You guys
Well,
had to
and the-
take apart.
and the real strike when we did it a couple years later, what did it take till like 3 a.m. or something?
Oh, it was 4:00 in the morning. We
It
didn't finish. And we didn't even finish.
That's
It was
brutal.
a
We had to
lot of
finish later that
stuff.
week, but yeah.
Really? Wow.
But
So it was
yeah,
a very
it was
intricate
crazy.
show. And then I remember I was also back on spring break. I wasn't a part of the like flight training, but I was helping in the costume shop. I was kind of putting some like last minute details on things. I was around because Caleb and I had just started kind of like hanging out.
Start of our
Shoot.
And so I was like still on campus, and I was also working my job, which was in this area. So I decided to just go home for a couple days and then stay on campus during spring break. And I remember talking to our costume designer at the time, and she was like pulling up the news articles on her phone. And, you know, I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? Like this can't really be happening a little bit. Like it was kind of surreal, just like sitting in the basement of Totino, like talking about the world shutting down
Right.
a
It was
little
strange.
bit.
Well, another time we thought it would only be for like 2 weeks, you know.
Yeah.
All those
They were
famous longest 2 weeks of my whole life, right?
Yeah. Yep.
No, but it was like, it was strange. It was almost like really sad, but at the same time, it was almost like, at least for me, it was almost like kind of a strange like relief at the same time. It was almost like a unexpected like kind of summer break just early.
Mm-hmm.
It was strange. Like, and we were
Yeah,
sad about the show.
But then it got more depressing as time went on.
yeah, when they're like, you can't see people.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Stay
That-
inside.
Well, and then, you know, here's the funny thing. So when it shut down, there was a lot of questions, you know, like when everyone was initially sent home, and I mean, you guys were still in a veil, but I mean, it was pretty much the same. Like the world pretty much said, okay, everybody's going to go home for 3 weeks and we're just not going to go outside our houses. And so they kind of told us like, well, like in a month, like we could potentially come back. And then like a couple days later, they were like, okay, we are not going to perform this spring
Yeah.
and we're going to perform in
Yeah,
the
it was
fall.
crazy.
So we were like, okay, we're going to perform in the fall. Then they announced halfway through the summer, actually, we're not performing Peter Pan in the fall. We're switching it with the spring musical, which is Bright Star. So Bright Star is going to perform in the fall, and then Peter Pan's going to be in the spring. Then when the world's not changing, then they said, actually, we're not going to perform Peter Pan in the spring. Actually, we're going to do a different show, and Peter Pan's going to perform in the fall of 2020.
Which ended up happening.
Fall of 2021, which did end up happening, thankfully. But it was a year and a half.
Yeah.
That we waited to perform ultimately.
And almost everyone came back, even alumni.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, I think, two or three of the main roles were alumni, right?
Yeah.
I think it was three.
Yeah.
Three.
That
It was
weird
Hannah
thing.
and Cameron and Jonah, right?
Yep.
They were the three main.
One of the weirdest rehearsal processes, because like it had been a year and a half, but they kind of just were like, well, you know it, so like let's get up here and run it. We didn't reblock things. We just kind of were supposed to look at our scripts from a year and a half ago and like start. And
Oh boy.
we did.
And it's honestly amazing, like
It's crazy
how the brain works, because I remember standing up on stage and it was almost like I was like transported
So
to like a
strange.
year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, why do I like know what to do, but I literally haven't looked at this piece of paper in 2
Right.
years? Like
spawned one of my.
Well, yeah.
it was crazy.
I mean, I had the same thing when I did Little Women the second time. Like, I mean, obviously the blocking was going to have to be different because it was a different
Right.
director.
Right.
But I was off book in like 3 days because it was still just all in my brain, which is
Yeah.
crazy because it was 2 years. It was 2 years since I had done that show.
So there you
So-
go, Joey. Another reason why theater is useful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It
for
spawned
sure.
my Peter Pan nightmare, which it's like my recurring nightmare where like I'm thrown on stage and I have to be Peter Pan because it was living rent free in my mind for a year and a half. Like in all the dreams, I can never find my costume. I don't know any of my lines. Like, it's
Yeah,
the
I've
worst.
had that dream a few times. It's kind of awful.
Wow, you guys dream about theater.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's your nightmares.
Literally.
Yeah, definitely do theater.
Joey's
kids.
nightmare is also
Yeah, it's the
being-
exact same. I don't
Joey,
even
like,
do theater.
do you know the stress of like basically being pushed out on stage in front of a group of people and not knowing what to say or do?
Okay, I'm gonna say something that's very controversial, but
Okay.
I'm gonna say it. I don't like theater because I don't. It's like golf. Okay, in a lot
What?
of. Okay, listen,
I wanna hear him. I wanna
listen,
hear him out.
listen.
Okay.
You'll hear me out, and you'll be like, "Oh, Joey, that was so big brain." Okay, hate playing golf. The reason I hate playing golf is you're chasing perfection. That's the goal. You can't make one little mistake the whole time. Theater is like basically the exact same thing. If you make one little mistake, people will notice. We're on the
No.
basketball.
Not always.
We're most of the time though.
False.
Most of the time. But like on a basketball court, a soccer field, baseball field, you make a mistake, you can make up for it and you make more mistakes. But that's one of the reasons I don't like theater.
I mean, I did notice when you said the same line 3 times and Charlie.
Dude, I still think about that all the time.
Joey's
Like,
just
oh,
still scarred.
Although,
I am.
Here's what
I
I'll
am.
say. I think though that like in professional theater even, mistakes happen more often than the audience realizes.
Yes.
Truly. Like I'm not even kidding.
No, it's true.
And like sometimes you just don't notice. I mean, Joey, like you said the same line 3 times apparently, which I mean might confuse an audience, but unless you know the show really well, people don't really like catch on to those types of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
And usually the audience is rooting for you. They're not like, hey, you messed up. I mean, sometimes, like your close friends might be, but like, they're not like, they're not hoping you fail, you know, because it's not
Yeah.
comfortable for the audience either when someone says their line 3 times, you know, it's like,
Or that's just silent for like 10 seconds.
Dude, that one was the worst.
I do remember that
I've
one
been
too.
there.
Cause did I
Caleb
tell you
has
about
been
like what was going
Not
through
10
my
seconds.
head?
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
It felt
I
like
like
a long time.
3 to 8. Wow, we're having 2 different
Sorry.
conversations.
This has never happened before on the podcast. We're in 2 separate rooms, guys, so sorry about that. Joey, didn't you say that you still get the pre-show nervousness when you're watching theater shows?
I hate watching theater shows because I get nervous for the actors. Yeah.
But I think most people that like have not had experience in theater probably don't.
no,
But
I never did before.
Yeah, and
And
I
then
have the
after
same
doing-
thing.
Oh, really? You
seriously,
did?
I never.
At every Northwestern show. Well, I think too. It's been when Jaylin's been there in there too,
Right.
and like with the Schumachers.
If it's
and
someone I'm close with.
then I'm like,
then yeah.
okay, Jaylin's Reno and anything goes. Like, I hope she does well, obviously. And I was
Right.
nervous a little bit for her, but the second night I was not not
good.
nervous. So it was usually only the first night of the shows, but
Yeah, if I'm close with them and I know it like means a lot to them, then yeah, I get nervous. But otherwise, I'm just like, I'm gonna be a critic.
No.
yeah,
I enjoy theater,
yeah.
good and bad. Sometimes I enjoy bad theater because it's like extra entertaining. you
Yeah.
know?
Isn't there a show called The Show That Where Nothing Goes Right, or
The play that goes wrong.
The Play That Goes Wrong?
Yeah.
I think that'd be a funny show to watch.
Oh, it's hilarious.
See, comedy I can get behind. I could do comedy.
I can get behind bad acting. Can't get behind bad singing because it's just so painful.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, I want to kind of hear a little bit about how you guys started talking, how you guys met, and that whole process, and what kind of happened in the middle there for a little bit.
Who shot the first shot?
Oh.
Who shooted the
Ooh.
first
We'll get
shot?
there. We'll get there.
Okay. This is fun. I think I'm just gonna put this blanket statement out there.
Oh boy.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think it's really cool what you guys are doing because I think you can learn a lot in life by hearing other people's stories. And like about like how they
I
met.
thought she was gonna say mistakes, and I was like,
No.
Caleb, you're about to get run
Not
over by a
mistakes.
bus
No, no,
right
no.
here.
Make sure you choose the right person,
Look,
because
everybody makes
I know.
mistakes.
Be 100% sure when you say yes to that engagement, right?
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
I know
Okay.
the ring may look expensive, but you don't have to say yes.
It was expensive.
No.
He's still paying
But
that
no.
thing
See it
back.
on the gram.
But genuinely, I think like it's really cool to just share people's stories, and so
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate listening.
Yeah.
And
Preach.
I think that you can just learn a lot about life, and it's cool
Yep.
to relate to people that way. So,
Thanks.
anyways, with that, I was a freshman in college here
Fresh
at
meat.
Northwestern.
Hey, you can't say
Yeah,
that
you
on
can't
this
say that.
podcast.
That's
This
controversial.
is a clean podcast.
Oh, right. That was the whole thing.
Yep.
Okay. The hats.
The
I
hats.
forgot that.
The
I forgot
hats.
Yep.
Oof.
That's the one podcast I listened to, I think. Of this podcast. It's the fresh meat one. Because she was like, you gotta hear this.
Well, you have to hear the account firsthand,
Yeah, you do.
So, and then Caleb was a sophomore. So,
Ooh, controversial.
I know.
Ooh.
so Caleb is
I would never do something like that.
almost 2 years older than me. Did you not know that,
Because
Joey?
No, I did not know
Well-
that. Well, and just Mike's, you're 2 years older than Kylie, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
because Jalen, because
Robbing the cradle
you're
over
one.
here, Micah.
Dab me up from across the room.
All right.
Oh my goodness. It's like the same person.
Because you,
What's
'cause
the
me and
male
Ky-
version of a cougar?
I don't know, a lion.
A lion. Sugar daddy. Can't say that.
No.
Because Kylie and I are 2 grades apart and 2 years, but I think Jalen, you're just
Yeah,
a
we're
really
only 1 grade apart.
Jalen, you're really young.
Or no, 2.
You're younger for your grade, and Caleb's really old for his grade. So
I'm just old because of that kind of gap year I told
Oh.
you.
And he has a summer birthday.
yeah,
So,
Otherwise,
yeah.
I had always been young for my grade, but then I ended up being like on the older side
yeah.
coming to college, which was kind of interesting.
Anyways, keep going.
So I knew who Caleb was because he was in Northwestern's production of Newsies my senior year. And so at that same scholarship audition where I auditioned for the program, they gave me free tickets to see the show. And so Caleb was crutchy in Newsies. And
And in the cardboard cutout.
yes, there
Which
was
you
a
didn't take a
cardboard,
picture with.
which I did not take a picture by. But
Miss
there is
out.
a
That would have been hilarious.
wouldn't it?
so
But I'm
good.
also, but I always say this, it shows that I wasn't just a fangirl, like, because I don't have a picture with his cardboard
But
cutout.
you
which
remember
was
him.
weird.
You remember him from
Still.
Newsies?
But
Like-
I do because he's really talented, and he was also only a freshman. So for a freshman to be in a leading role on the Northwestern stage is actually a pretty big deal, I would
he
say.
must have paid somebody a lot of money.
No,
Yeah.
I was bad at dancing, and it was Newsies, so they gave me the crutches.
The cripple.
I didn't think I was getting cast. Like,
but he has a great voice, and he's a really great
Yes, he does.
performer. So anyways, so I knew who he was, but I was shy and I was like just kind of like doing my own thing. But we kind of ran in similar circles. So he
I didn't know theater kids ran.
we
Every
do.
now and then.
We do. How do you think we dance like that?
That's true. Dancing is a lot of work.
So
Big Strava guy over here.
Yep. Me and Caleb are friends with Strava.
Caleb can say the first time he noticed me.
You don't run.
Caleb runs.
I run.
Caleb
I run.
does run.
You don't
I run a half
run.
marathon.
I don't run. I bike.
Caleb ran a half
lift.
marathon
Wow.
one summer.
Oh wow.
boy.
So
No training. It wasn't a great idea.
Okay.
It's like one of those YouTube challenges. I ran a half marathon with no training.
Literally.
I mean, he'd been kind of running. But anyways, aside the point.
So many tangents to go on.
So I'll let Caleb say the first time he noticed me because it's kind of cute. But I knew who he was, and then I was assistant stage managing a show, the Christmas show, and Northwestern does these like swing dance events throughout the year. I know,
It's
really
like 2 a
nerdy.
year, not many. Like the Swing Dance Club does a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I was at rehearsal, and it happened to be the same night that there was a swing dance event in the Totino lobby. And I come upstairs, and I had a few friends that were there, and they were like, Jaylin, like come join or whatever. And I was like, I'm trying to be adventurous. I'm trying to, put myself out there and try new things. It's college, right?
Yeah.
But I had no idea what I was doing. Because, yes, while I danced, swing dancing, partner
pretty good.
dancing is very different. So I just didn't really know the step. I didn't know, the moves or, the routine or whatever. And so I went up to my friend and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And she said, oh, well, Caleb can teach you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wing
That
woman.
that is clutch right there.
So I said, okay. And I was like, I mean, you guys, I knew who he was. I wasn't stupid. I didn't live under a rock. I was like, he's this popular guy. He's cute.
The glory days.
All the girls like him. And I've just basically just been pushed towards him. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do my best and have fun and but I'm also not gonna be awkward because I did kind of like someone else at the time. Which I'm
not for long.
But
Not for long.
anyways,
I'm not aware of this person.
I'm not gonna say anything else about that.
If you're listening, you know who you are.
Oh my gosh, no, he does not. No, he does not know who he is. Okay. Anyways, I'll tell you after the podcast, off the record.
All love.
So also this person did not like me back, hardcore. So it's
I
fine.
don't know all that. Oh, okay, I won't go into that.
Okay. So anyways, but it was actually a super fun time. We
Oh yeah.
swung dance for
The one time
a while.
I'm gonna be a better dancer than, or the one time I'm gonna be more knowledgeable on something dance than you. The
And,
only time in our lives.
And I was getting the hang of it, and he was so sweet and encouraging. And he was like, no, you're doing great. You've seriously never done this before? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not good, but I'm trying my best. And
You did fine. You're a natural.
yeah. So anyways,
See, here was the thing.
yeah.
I
he can
danced
talk
with a
now.
lot of girls that night, right? And Jaylin had the softest hands. And that's when I
Wow.
Wait, sorry. What? Can you just repeat
No.
what you just said, Caleb?
Keep saying this.
No,
Okay,
Jaylin,
some people
not your
their
turn.
hands are so dry. It's what are you doing, man?
And that's when he knew.
So, Caleb, you just said I danced with a lot of girls that night, and Jaylin had the
It was
softest
my
hand.
player stage, okay?
Player stage.
We've all been there.
Okay, say the
I
other
wish
reason though,
Mike had a player
besides the
stage.
soft hands to get a laugh.
Yeah.
No. It was just it was natural. It just felt, I don't know, it felt right. So I just knew right then I was gonna marry her.
Okay.
No, yeah. Breaks up with her 3
Don't
months
get ahead.
later.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten
Sorry,
that
You're
far
sorry.
yet.
jumping out of order.
Like I said, trying times, man. But no, it was
We're all in this together.
we gotta get moving on this. This is getting long. But
Yes.
basically
Sorry,
that happened. It was great. It was amazing. Awesome. And then we went to Taco Bell after. I kind of
Oh my
invited.
goodness.
I know,
he
it was-
invited me and my friend to Taco Bell.
Oh,
So
yeah.
wait, let me get this straight, Caleb. It was just you, Jaylin, and her friend.
No, it was a group. It was a group.
Oh, okay.
So this
Me,
and-
Jaylin, Sydney, and Emily in one car.
no,
Nice.
no,
No.
it was Sarah.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Sarah, because Sarah and I were friends, and
Right.
then you invited us two to go with your whole little
Right.
group.
There weren't enough cars.
There weren't enough seats in the car to take all of us in one. So then I end up having to drive.
Yeah, we can't find the seats. You gotta ride with me.
He
Caleb.
set this all up. So
Exactly.
I had
So
to see if she
then-
was a good driver.
which I
Smart.
proved that I was not in this one instance. So
Spoilers.
anyways, we go to Taco Bell. It's fine. It's good. It's like kind of awkward because like I don't really know a ton of people in this group, but I'm just like vibing, just sitting
Did
in.
you even get anything?
No, I had a few of your nachos. You offered them to me like a gentleman.
$5 cravings box.
Can't
Good
go
deal.
wrong with
Worthy.
that.
Because I was just so
Before
nervous.
inflation.
I was like, I can't eat anything. It's late at night. Like, I'm just not gonna even try. So, we're driving back, and it is so dark in this part of town. Like, there's like one street lamp, and I have no idea where I am. And so Sarah, now, we then ended up living together for 3 years after our freshman year, but she is in the front seat, and if you ask her to navigate, she will always
You
say
cannot put this on Sarah.
no. It is partially on Sarah. Now,
She said turn left. Here, I'm just gonna.
she said turn left, so I turned left, but it was onto the exit ramp to the freeway. Now hold on.
Just casually.
I didn't actually go on the exit ramp. I
Wrong way.
realized what was happening. So I slammed on my brake. No one was coming. They had a light. So obviously like, they would have been stopped. It wasn't there, but there was no one there. There was literally no one in this intersection. I just did a very like illegal U-turn in the center of the intersection
We've
and
all been
drove
there.
back the other way. But anyways, so I'm super nervous, but Caleb's just trying to like talk to me, and everybody's kind of just ignoring what just happened after they laughed. And then I drop him off and I say, okay, bye. Like, sorry about that thing. I promise I'm a better driver in real life. That's what I said.
And I'm like, isn't this real life? Like,
He just starts
And that's when I
questioning.
knew.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He just starts questioning his existence.
Yeah.
Wait,
Wait a minute.
am I real?
So anyways, after that night, we had kind of started like talking more in groups, and like, he slid into my DMs over Christmas break.
Attaboy. Christmas break is a
Okay.
good time to do that
And
stuff.
then
oh yeah.
I didn't respond
I think I just did the emoji.
because he just
even.
like reacted to a story of mine.
Oh, that's not.
You gotta start small. You
That's
gotta
true.
start small.
That's
Plant the
sliding.
seed.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's sliding.
I say
Yeah.
sliding.
That's sliding
But
for sure.
me being awkward, I was like, I don't know how to respond to this because you just like liked my story.
You're supposed to like the Jaylin, don't you know?
Right. I
Did you do
should
that
have.
back
I
then?
think I did. I think I liked it, but then you didn't respond.
I don't think you did.
Oh,
I
maybe I
think you
didn't. I don't know.
Radio
So, anyways,
silence.
but then he posted
all
something.
right.
But it's okay. I'm getting there. He posted something the next day asking for book recommendations.
Oh,
which was totally like
You guys.
intended. Yeah,
like you wanted Jaylin to respond.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
she
he
fell right
knew-
into my trap.
Yeah, he knew I was obviously like this nerdy literature major. So,
But I also
He's
legitimately,
never read a book in
I
his
also
life.
legitimately
He's
was like interested in like
Sure.
books. Like,
Yeah.
a little bit.
so
generally
I
interested in Jaylin.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, I can respond, and then it's not gonna be awkward because I like didn't respond to the last one. So I responded and I recommended the book, And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. It's a great read for those of you looking for your next book.
It's a good book.
And he read it, and so we were
Okay.
like talking,
Took
and
me
we
a while.
probably like texted that day for like 4 hours, like just off and on, like throughout like the next 4 hours, just talking about like school and books and life.
And what
Conversation just kept going.
This is still over Christmas break, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we get back and we audition for Peter Pan. We're at callbacks together. We get cast, and wait, tell
This is
them.
like the full this is the full story. This is
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
this
gonna
is
wrap it
crazy.
up. I'm gonna wrap it up. But wait, you have to say the first time you noticed me because it kind of like ties into like theater and like singing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it was fall semester, so
Mhm.
rewind. But I was just practicing singing in a practice room as a theater major does. No, just kidding. As a music major does. And I saw her out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, ooh, cute girl alert, in the practice room across from me. Start singing a little bit louder. Again, trying to,
Trying to impress you.
serenade the girl a little bit. Of course, they are soundproof, so maybe it was in vain. But
Yeah.
They're
So
not
anyways.
completely soundproof.
Yeah.
So
I think I like saw you though. Like,
On rewind.
so then like we just kept kind of like talking more and like hanging out, and like his like practice session was like at the same time as my voice lesson. So like every week, once a week, we'd like sit in the hallway and just chat.
We had a lot of cute moments.
Yeah, we were, you know, just kind of getting to know each other. And he asked me out on a date. Well, I didn't know if it was a date or not because I'm awkward.
I feel like it was pretty obvious.
It was pretty obvious. I was like, it's definitely a date. He asked me out on a date the day, like the last day of quad 3. So the last day of class before spring break. I was at work. He missed me in person, so he texted me because I was at work and said, "Hey, like it's been really great like getting to know you this semester. Like, do you want to like go out and celebrate the end of the quad?" Like,
well, keep in mind,
I was going so straightforward and obvious. Like,
I was going to do it in person too, because I don't like sliding in like and asking. Like that feels so weird. I was gonna do it in person, but and we were in the lounge together, and I was gonna ask you, but everyone was around, and then I had class, and then after class you were gone. So then I was like, well, gotta resort to the DMs. Worked out for me too.
So anyways, we went out.
That was a long 5 minutes waiting for you to respond, which you responded quick too.
Well, yeah, I just responded like when I said.
Every guy knows that feeling when you send the message and you're like,
shoot the shot.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen.
I think it took Kylie 20 minutes. 20 minutes to respond to me.
That's like not bad though.
It was pretty bad.
Some girls it takes like you know, like days. So
you would know, right?
Yeah. Dark times.
Man, I can try to be faster, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm a slow storyteller. You can cut this, right? Like,
absolutely.
No, we're keeping it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we can. She asked if we can. Yes, we can.
We can do it.
But you're not going to. I mean, if people are invested at this point, like I just gotta. So we hang out like a few times over spring break, then the world shuts down. You guys, dating long distance when you've had like 3 dates. When you've had like 3 dates and getting to know each other like in person for like a few months, and then going to dating long distance when nothing is normal in the world.
Yeah.
Is very difficult.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like we would like FaceTime a lot of nights, and we would, you know, like text or Snapchat or whatever. Like, you know, now the new things like Marco Polo, we didn't have that back then.
Right.
But
which it was like good.
It was really,
I just remember for me,
really
I was like stressing because I was like, okay, I don't know her that well yet, and like, but by the time we might get out of this thing, like if we keep going with this, I'm gonna like have been dating her for like a year, and like it was just sort of a strange feeling of like we're long distance, but we don't really have a foundation to put it on yet.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, yeah.
And so his family lives in Lakeville, and my family lives in Ham Lake, so it's about an hour apart.
Right.
Which
it was a trek.
It was a trek, and I mean we would make it work. Like sometimes, like we would like meet in the middle and like go on a walk, like outside, you know, or you know, after like the first month and a half, and it was just like so sad and like nothing was changing, you know, our parents were like, yeah, it's okay if you like go over to each other's houses. Like, you know, like none of us were going anywhere at that point. So it was like, you know, whatever. So we had like hung out in person like since, but it was really hard. Like, and I remember like, you know, it was like, wow, like I have to like soak up this day because I won't get to see him in person for like another 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's just not the same. And so
I was also going through some stuff at the time, and I was dealing with some like COVID was rough.
COVID was hard on all of us, and I think, you know, it impacted people in different ways. But he called me, like it was like the end of April now, and he calls me one day and he's just like, Jaylin, like, you know, I like really like you, and I really have enjoyed getting to know you and like being friends and like hanging out, but I just don't think I'm like capable of being in a relationship right now, basically. And like as hard as that was to hear, I was like, at this point I like had really, you know, come to really like Caleb and care about him. And so I kind of ultimately said, hey, like, if you need to do what's best for you, like, if you don't think you can do this right now, like, I completely understand. Was it hard and sucky? Yes. Because I was like, man, this is like my first like real like solid type feeling relationship that was like just starting to happen. Like, you know, like I think you can just tell like when people click and you feel like it's going somewhere, and then all of a sudden you're kind of like blindsided. You know, it's tough, but again, like you have to respect people. Like I don't think people know how to respect people nowadays sometimes. And so
I was getting freaked out.
Yeah.
It's just tough because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm in a relationship now and I'm not even seeing her. And like, you know, I feel like in normal relationships, like some of the like freaked outedness of like, oh my gosh, I'm like committing to someone is sort of taken away when like you get to be with them and stuff. But it was sort of like the, I don't know, almost like commitment without even really getting to see her. And it was like sort of strange for me. But
Wait, so this happened over a call? I thought it happened in person.
No, this happened over.
I didn't know you were gonna talk about that.
Oh,
too.
sorry. Well, anyways,
there was a couple things that happened, and then, long story short, basically like
we ended up breaking up.
Well, that was like a break, kind of.
That was like a break.
Oh, okay.
Then we like determined like.
Then I was like, oh my gosh, I screwed up, and like a few days later, I was like,
I miss you.
Like, yeah, I was dumb. I was really dumb. And then then we like sort of. Yeah, we were a thing again for a little bit, and then the actual one, I went up to her house and was like, yeah, said a lot of things, and it was.
So we ended up breaking up.
Yeah.
After like
a lot of the same stuff like from the first time around.
It was
basically,
it was just hard.
Yeah, and so that happened in person. So
that happened in person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then from then on, we were in a thing for.
So we were not together for 11 months after that.
11 months.
And during that, you were in Bright Star together as love interests.
Yeah, that was
Yes,
crazy
we were.
coming back to college and like.
And we had
just becoming friends again.
Yeah,
you
we had
know?
just decided we were gonna like be friends again, and you know. But it's so funny, like you guys. He says like I ask him how he's been, and like it had been like a very like up and down summer.
It was probably the worst summer of my life.
Yeah. And he says to
So
me
dramatic,
like,
but also so true.
like, so we've been talking for a little bit now, like texting, and then he was like, you know, I like really want to be friends again. And I was like, yeah, like me too. Like, you know, no hard feelings. Like, even though there was like sadness, but whatever. And then
you were very nice though.
I was like
considerate.
very,
I thought
yeah.
I did like. It's not that I was expecting you to be like mean, but like you were very nice, and like I feel like that was like, I don't know, super like cool.
Well,
me.
because
I was
like
wow, we were like a thing, and like she's not gonna be like,
yeah, well, and
whatever.
And you know, like, even though we were like obviously like romantically interested in each other, we were also building a friendship. So like, I didn't want to lose the friendship we had built over that time. So, you know, I was.
Oh, sorry.
What it.
I was like, I do remember getting cast opposite you, and I remember being like really excited about it, and I was like, well, that's interesting.
I know, I was too. I mean, I said like, this is so funny. I said to my roommate Grace, after callbacks, I was like, I just had this like feeling. I was like, I don't know. I feel like I like might be cast as this, and I said I would scream if I go up to the cast list tomorrow and Caleb is Jimmy Ray and I'm Alice. Like, I think I would scream. Like,
Did you?
legit.
Did you scream?
I think I just, like, looked at Grace, and Grace was like, are you going to scream? And then I was like...
She's like, no, there's people around.
And then I was like, I just, like, mimed it or something. But I was like, oh, my gosh. Like, how?
I remember being in shock when I heard that.
Yeah.
I was like, no way. I thought it was so funny that, like, you guys were cast opposite.
Well, and the funny part too is, like somebody told Jennifer, like that
At the
we
table.
had been a thing.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, I think they'll be good together." And Jennifer's like literally matchmaking over here. But
Yeah.
Which,
anyway,
I mean, you know, that doesn't happen. That wasn't what was said. It was just basically like someone had brought up the fact that we had previously dated, and they were like, they'll be professional. It'll be fine.
yeah.
But
And then we still didn't date after that.
we still didn't
'cause
date.
I was
I
still
thought maybe we
confused
would.
and-
So
Yeah.
okay. Oh wait, I feel like I'm telling all the
This is a
story.
roller
I'm sorry.
coaster.
Yeah, dude,
It's
I
a
am
total roller
so
Yeah.
It's like a
emotional.
movie.
Back then it was too, because I was hearing
It
all this from
was.
Kylie. I still hadn't met Caleb at this point. I was
Yeah,
hearing
I
all of
was-
this from Kylie, and I was like, man, what's gonna happen
I
next?
was very worried and like, yeah, and we haven't even gotten to the juicy parts yet. I don't even know if we'll have time to get. This might be a 2-parter.
True.
No, but we were.
We were cast opposite.
Yeah, we were
and
cast opposite.
Everyone
Oh,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
talking about
And
it.
I was really worried to start something again because like we had already had that fiasco we just told you guys about, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to like start something and then like get all freaked out again, and I was really worried about that, and I was thinking like, okay, and I think I even told you like I don't think we're like gonna be together, like
Yeah.
because I was thinking like I was worried I didn't want to hurt you, and you were like
Yeah.
a close friend, and I kind of told you that, and yeah.
So
I had sort of a fiasco with someone else.
so Caleb.
Yikes.
So Caleb and I decided to
Not
be
really.
friends, and we pick back up, like we like basically without the like dating part,
Learning
just
from
like
mistakes.
pick back up right where we left off. Like we would like text and talk and hang out in groups and like,
Right.
and we were just like vibing. We were just friends, and so of course, like in my mind, I'm like, okay, like this kid has to still have some sort of feelings for
This
me.
kid who's 2 years older than.
Like,
This man.
okay, this dude, like.
This sugar daddy.
No. But like it was also like, you know, like, and here's what I'll say. This is what I was going to say.
So sorry. This is. So
This is gonna
long.
get real for a
This is
second.
great.
This
I love this.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
My bedtime's
I
not
think
for another hour, so we're good.
this is important. You have to be real about this. So throughout points of my life, I have suffered from anxiety. Like actual certifiable anxiety. And I remember thinking to myself, you know, like if I was having a panic attack or like if I was like not well, Caleb is someone that I could go to and like he'd be there for me.
Yeah.
Like I just like knew that. And so it did like in this very like emotional, vulnerable show and role, like the characters in the show, like the story that we told and in that musical, like yes, it's even though it's a musical, like it requires you to like reach into places in your soul that are kind of uncomfy. And I remember like also feeling that sense of relief, like when we were cast opposite each other, like I trust
Yeah,
him,
same
like
here.
even after
Yeah.
everything, like there was still this like bond that we
Right.
had, even though it wasn't romantic at the time. And anyways, so we do this whole show. Everybody's saying you're totally gonna get back together. You're totally gonna get back together. I mean, like one night, like it was COVID, y'all, so we like couldn't kiss. So one night he got so close to my face. He swears he didn't,
No, it was not that.
but
close.
it was close. And people in the audience thought we were gonna kiss, and they were like,
It was
"Oh,
our blocking. We were supposed to like put our foreheads like.
no, we're
something.
not. You were supposed to stand next
Hey,
to me."
smooth move, Caleb. Attaboy.
So anyways, so I'm thinking like maybe like I don't know, like and we've just been such good friends and it's been so great working together. And he comes over to my dorm and I've told you this. I was gonna like give him a letter, real smooth, basically saying like I really like care about you as a person and I admire you and hear all the things that I like about you and I just need you to know this is how I feel. I just need to know.
I
And, like,
forgot about the letter.
I just need to like either
You did that.
I just need to either move on or like we need to like figure it out. So
There you
he
go.
comes over, you guys, he comes over.
Oh my
He
gosh.
sits in the chair and he says, "Hey, I know like how have you been? Like people have been like talking about us. Like how are you doing with that?" And I'm like, "I know."
We're
I'm
just
like,
so
"I
popular.
know."
Like, oh my gosh.
I know. And he says to me,
Ugh.
he's like, "You know, Jaylin, I'm going to be really real with you." And I'm like, "Okay." I haven't given him this letter yet. He says, "I just want you to know I never see us being
Okay.
anything more than friends."
I don't know if I said it like
That is what you said. You literally, I will
Liar.
never forget those words. I never see us being anything more than friends. So
You should
guys,
like put that in a quote and hang it on your wall in your
Yeah.
house.
guys,
No, I don't like to think about that.
so
time in my
I
life.
don't give him the letter. I don't give him the
Oh
letter.
no.
Because,
I didn't deserve it.
Because
Dude,
I was
this
like,
is
well,
such a roller coaster.
I'm learning a lot of new things.
This
I was
is
like,
nothing.
I've got my answer.
This is nothing. Just like,
So then he closes out the conversation. I had heard some rumors going on, and I want to tell you before anybody else does, but I'm actually going out on a date with this other girl
See,
tomorrow.
No.
And this was the reason too.
I actually
like-
do remember this now. I forgot
Okay,
about
this
this
was
part.
the reason though, because I felt so cruddy because like everyone was saying like, oh my gosh, Jaylin like wants to know like if something's gonna happen or something. And at the time, I was sort of pursuing this other chick who I didn't really know. And like I felt so bad and I'm like, I just have to give her a
Rebound.
clear like
Yeah.
more or less. But I was literally like, I just have to give her a clear answer. Like I need to like be super clear with her because nobody likes the guy
Yes.
who's like,
No.
yeah,
well,
that's
like,
facts.
you know,
that's
like,
facts.
maybe someday we could like, because like deep down, that's how I felt. But I wanted to be respectful to her and be
Right.
like, I don't like, and just give you a straight up like
Yeah.
at the time. And like,
So
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, I've got my answer. But like something just didn't sit right with me. Something just didn't sit right. But I was like, okay, like I have to move on. Like, you know, like you just have to do that. Like when someone you like says, I don't like you like that, like that is the proper way to heal, you know, like just
Yeah.
to move on. Like, and then sometimes like you gotta give yourself grace. Like if people out there like someone and then they tell you like, hey, I don't like you like that, like please for your own mental health, like move on, like at your own pace, but do it if you can.
and don't be the guy who gives hope. Like if you really think it's not going to happen.
Right. But here's what I will say. Actions also speak louder than words.
Oh.
So
Word up.
Caleb, I'm just like, I just like feel it in my soul. I'm like, this isn't over. Like I'm going to move on for right now, but like, I don't know. Like I'm never going to say never about this.
Justin
person.
Bieber.
Truly. So he goes out on this date with this other girl
Oh gosh.
and
Mistake.
I like, of course, look her up on Instagram like one does. And like, it's so funny. Like all my friends are like, you're prettier than her.
Oh, boy,
no.
that's
Classic.
not
Which she was
good.
cute. She was fine. But I was like, yeah.
You are, babe. You are, babe.
Thank you. And so anyways, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? So anyways, so they go out on these dates, but then she ghosts him.
Oh.
Well, yeah. We.
And I saw it coming. Cause like,
Hey.
sorry.
I was doing okay. I should have been defending this. Right
Yeah, probably. Watch your words very carefully, Caleb.
Oh my gosh. No. Yeah. She did ghost me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're hanging out with me more than the girl you're trying to date, like,
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we went out like once and like it went pretty good and like stuff, but I don't know. I was talking mainly about myself and yeah, it wasn't really flowing both ways. You know, it wasn't vibing both ways really. And then
Right.
we hung out one more time and then she kind of ghosted me and which was good. I'm glad it happened. It was not.
I would hope.
yeah. And so then
I literally like saw her on Instagram and had never met her.
because she followed him after Bright Star.
Yes, literally, and like, yeah, it was
Like saw
Bandwa-
him in the show.
bandwagon.
Yeah, like
right. I didn't
fangirl.
even know her. Like, I don't feel like I ever really got to know her. It was really stupid.
So anyways, so
if you're listening, you're not stupid. It was dumb of me.
now at the time that this is all happening, we're back from Christmas break. Not only have we been cast in the same cast of a show again as like
Emma, right?
Emma, yep.
Yes,
and
yes.
my character
Emma.
at one point does like his
Emma.
character, and they have this like kind of like
show I
sweet
forgot my line
relationship
in.
in the show. And then secondly, he's my accompanist for my private voice
Yeah.
lessons. So he's playing piano
Oh, boy.
for me every week,
Oh, boy.
and
I
we
know,
have
I
to
got
do
that
an extra
email.
practice, private practice. Like he's paid, like I'm essentially paying the school to pay him to be my pianist for
Right.
the semester.
Well,
So-
and to make matters worse, well, that was good in that case. But when I got that email, it was like you're gonna accompany Maggie, Jaylin, and Ashley Gonzalez.
all girls who had liked
And I
him
was like,
at one point.
Oh my gosh! We're like,
Dog! What a dog!
oh, it was like
Maybe
I
I should get in a theater. Holy cow.
no, but like I don't even know about Maggie, but like the other ones, I was like you and Ashley, I was like, oh my gosh, like I have history with both these girls, like sort of more so you obviously, but I was like, this is gonna be a really interesting.
So we are seeing each other like literally every day, like literally every day, pretty much. At rehearsals, in voice lessons, practicing in the lobby. We're obviously all like friends again, like so. I don't know, like how much.
Yeah. Well,
how much
okay.
should we share?
Enter.
No.
Man, this one just keeps on going.
Anonymous.
Enter anonymous. Enter Jeff.
Yeah, we'll call him Jeff.
Jeff Brown?
Sure. No, well, we know people named the Browns.
Oh, yeah, true.
We just call him Jeff.
Just call him Jeff.
We'll just call him Jeff. Jeff starts like hardcore pursuing me.
Oh.
Holy cow.
And
this is like a
Jeff is a friend of
right
mine.
here.
Jeff is a
keep
friend
in
of
mind,
Caleb's.
Jeff is. Oh my gosh, we should. Okay, keep in mind, Jeff's a friend of mine. Jeff says to me, "So you're not gonna be a thing with Jaylin. Like, do you mind if I, pursue her?" Yeah. Like, I got my thing with other mystery person. I'm like, oh yeah, totally. Like, sure. Like, it feels like a little weird, but. At the same time, we were in the Cane's drive-thru. I was hungry. I was like, whatever.
This is like Cain and Abel. You're like giving away your birthright for Cane's.
Bro code aware.
Yeah. So anyway,
Jaylin, that was a funny joke.
Jeff.
Thank you.
I
missed
got it.
I said
My
it was
bad.
like Jacob and Esau, not Cain and Abel. Jacob
never
and
mind.
Esau.
It's not funny anymore.
Sorry,
Right,
but I was like,
explain
you're
it too
like
much.
giving away your birthright for Cane's.
So Jeff says this. I am in the process of getting ghosted. Jeff is hardcore pursuing, in his words, simping for Jaylin. And I'm like, oh my gosh, everything feels so weird in my body. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? I hate this. Make it stop.
And
You're coming after my girl, who I literally said I'm not gonna like have any
Ever
romantic
date.
feelings for, but like I'm so jealous. I'm like,
Yeah.
why do I feel this way?
And he,
What
like-
is going on?
Let's just say Caleb kind of like kept the back door open a little bit. Like it was like always a possibility that like we could get back together. That's how it felt.
It was a jar.
Actions wise. So I also was like friends with this guy, and like so we
A
were
little
like
too close.
hanging out, and everybody was like, "What about him? Like, could you date him?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, I just am not really like feeling that way. Like, I just really appreciate our friendship. Like, I know I'm so sorry, but anyways." Then also, it gets to the point where Caleb asks me to go to dinner right before spring break. Doesn't this feel like deja vu?
Yeah.
Familiar.
Yeah.
And so,
Anyone else getting deja vu right now?
so he asks me to dinner right before spring break.
If you made it this far, you're a real one.
And
Yeah, it's one of our longer episodes.
he brings me to
Let's go
Panera,
this.
and he basically asks me what's going on, and I say like nothing, and he's like, "Well, you need to like tell this person that," and I was like, "Okay," and then we talked, and we were there for like a while, and it was really fun, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, okay, so now what's happening?" Then
I was falling in love.
spring break,
Set
I
the scene.
accidentally friend someone on Facebook that we have mutual friends. You know when they like pop up and you're like
Yep.
scrolling through
Yep.
and you can just like literally hit add friend without
Yep.
even trying?
Yep.
So this happens with this guy that goes to Northwestern, and he
Oh,
friends me
right.
back. And
Wait,
is like,
is this guy's real name Jeff?
no.
Wait, no.
No, this other guy's real name is
Derek.
not Jeff. No. So
I don't
he
remember.
friends me back and says
Gingers.
like, "Hey, do I know
He was a
you?"
ginger.
And like slides into the DMs. And I'm like, "No, I'm so sorry. I like this is going to sound really weird, but I accidentally friended you."
Sure.
So he like messages me like a little bit back and forth or whatever. We find out we have like a mutual friend, and he asks me to coffee.
Dude, the plot thickens.
And I go.
You
And
go.
what?
And I
Why
go.
would you do this?
So I don't tell
I forgot about
Caleb,
this
and I don't tell anybody except my roommates, because my roommates were like, "You should go. Like this will be good for you to go and like
too.
move
It's like
on."
me rewatching a movie
Yeah.
after a long time.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I'm remembering all of this as it comes back.
And so
Right.
I go to coffee with this guy, And like also this was like maybe like stupid, but like we go on like a walk in like a park, a big park or whatever.
Don't do that.
And this was so
Not on
anyways.
first date.
Who would bring you to a park for something that's like important?
Yeah.
Who would do that?
Well,
I feel like there's
I don't
foreshadowing
know.
here.
He wanted to like keep talking, and I didn't know what to do
Right.
because they were closing Caribou. So I was
don't
like, "There's like
remember
a
that
park
part.
next
I didn't
door."
know you went to a park. You didn't tell me that.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, anyways,
Tension.
Truth comes out.
I'm sorry. So we
How
went
many
to
days did you go on with this guy?
just the one. So just the one, and
Did you
then
accidentally delete him as a friend yet, or?
yes.
This is marriage counseling.
Dude, yeah, this is.
So I get back from this date because it was like in the afternoon. I get back from this date and I'm in the Totino lobby and Caleb walks in and I just like literally, I have to get up and leave you guys. I like start crying like for no reason. Like, well, no, the reason was Caleb walks in and I'm like, that's who I want to be with, not this other guy, coffee guy. I like leave, I like get it together and then I wasn't doing anything that night. And Caleb says like, oh, well, like, if you're alone, you can come over and watch TV in our dorm. And I'm like, yes. Yeah, I want to do
And
that.
Jaylin's a player too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, okay.
She's into the homeschool riz.
My great grandmother dated two
Both
men at the
Schumachers
same
are.
time. She
That
would,
is
so
funny.
I guess I don't know.
We won't. Yeah. She'd get dropped off on one side of the building. Long story short,
And
dropped
run
off on
through.
one, run through, get picked up by
And
the
get
other
picked
guy.
up by the other guy. Back to back dates.
There's a little bit of that.
My
in Jaylin,
great
I guess.
grandmother. So
So funny.
Super K?
no, great grandmother. Super K's
Okay.
mom. Super K's mom did this.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
So anyways.
Anyway, so that happens.
We start hanging out more and more, and then like, you know, it becomes more than just like
right.
in groups. Like we would like go on like walks and like go like get like dinner before events and like
And we were just good friends at
we
this
were
point,
really
too.
just good friends. So
And then I was like, I really want to like kiss her. Like I was getting this urge in me.
oh man.
This sort of
And like
animalistic.
Stop,
thing.
stop talking. Caleb, stop talking.
PG.
Sorry.
so anyways,
PG-13 maybe.
by this point, Jeff has confronted me and said like, I like you, and I just said like, I don't want to pursue that. And then he was like, I see the way you look at Caleb. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. Like, I can't help it, okay? Like, I clearly still have feelings for him. And he's like, has become like my best friend. Like, Caleb and I genuinely like became like pretty much,
We did.
we just became
We
like
did.
best friends. And so we started hanging out. And then one day towards the end of April, so like around the time we broke up, a year, like almost a year ago, he invites me over to his dorm
Play Legos.
to play
Play
Legos and watch
As you
Community,
do.
you know. And then his roommates come over, and
We gotta go. We gotta get out.
it was just kind of awkward because we kind of started like a serious conversation, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't really want to like hang out with
Yeah.
your roommates too.
Then we. So I'm like, let's go to McDonald's.
Let's
Let's
get
get
Oh,
ice
it's the
cream.
it's the McDonald's night.
Shh, no spoilers.
Yep.
I remember this.
So yeah, you
Yeah.
tell it.
We go to McDonald's. Did we get ice cream first?
No, we drove around.
We
for a
drove
while.
around for a bit. We were chatting it up. We were talking about deep things, as you do with your best friend. And
Besties.
yeah, besties. Oh my gosh. So we were chatting it up, and then I think we parked before. We went through the drive-through because we
We
were still
did.
talking.
Yep.
I end up leaning back in my seat, and this isn't going where you think it is, but I end up leaning back in my seat. I'm all stressed out.
Oh my word.
No, and I'm all stressed. I don't know, like I'm saying, like, oh my gosh,
He's like, I don't know what to do.
Like,
People are
should-
like still talking about
yeah,
us.
people are still talking about us, like, and like we're such good
But I
friends
don't want to
and
like
stuff.
hurt you if we like
Right.
isn't gonna work out.
Like, yeah, I don't want to hurt you again. That was like the worst thing ever. And then didn't I say something like, "There's only so much talking can do"? I said something.
Yep, that's what he
No.
said.
Leaned over.
No way.
And he said,
Smooched her up right there, looking at the KFC. If you've been to the Snelling one, if you've been to the Snelling McDonald's, you'll know there's the KFC right there. So Colonel Sanders, chaperone.
to be fair, I'm gonna give you some credit too. He did say, but like on
I
his,
asked. Yeah,
he
I
did ask. He
Said,
did ask.
Can I just kiss you?
He was like, "Can I just kiss you? I'm just gonna kiss you," and like, you know, You
said yes to it.
I said yes. I was like, yeah.
Consent.
There was consent. And so we kissed, and he was like,
Didn't I say something about how like
he said,
wow,
he said no. You said I want to try this again, and I thought he meant the kiss. So I was like, okay. So I like lean in, and he's like, no. I want to like try dating again.
but that too.
And then he said, but that too.
Yep.
So, anyways, long story short, we decided to date again.
No. Long story long.
Long story very long.
Long story very long. I'm so sorry.
We dated again.
We started dating again, and we've been together since. So that was our
2 years.
2-year anniversary. Is April 25th.
Wow.
And then Caleb proposed on February 18th
in a park.
in a park.
Langton Lake.
Langton
the
Lake.
Sanctuary.
Yes. And it was very sweet.
On the bridge.
On the bridge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so
Yeah,
we're getting
crazy.
married in 3 weeks.
21 days.
Holy.
21 days.
And Joey's getting married
Yeah.
in 23 days.
Yep.
Because their weddings are
Yep.
2 days apart.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was unplanned. but-
What a
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, that
That
was like,
was-
I feel like I just finished like binging a show.
I know. I definitely learned some things I didn't know before because
Mhm.
all my content a couple years ago was filtered through Kylie. So glad I could get it from the source
Mhm.
this time.
Can I just say one more thing before
Yeah.
we wrap up?
Yeah.
Sure.
I obviously that was like the whole like roller coaster of, you know, our getting to know each other and dating and stuff. But I feel like a lot happens in between there too in that dating period, and a lot happened with us. And I remember in that period, I still had some of that, you know, anxiety of like, oh my gosh, like, what if this doesn't work out? What if, you know, what if I can't get over my fear of commitment? All this stuff.
Because relationships are very vulnerable.
yeah.
And, you know, especially when you're dating to marry, like, that's a big deal. I just, I remember I was going through a time where I was kind of at this point where I'm like, man, is this the long haul? You know, are we really doing this? And I remember I was listening to this podcast. It's called Becoming Something. Check it
So
out.
good.
Dude,
Jonathan
Yes.
such a good podcast.
You listen to it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Micah
my gosh.
recommended it to me.
Yeah, I was the one that told Jaylin about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way.
You're
Love
welcome,
them.
Caleb.
If you're listening, Jonathan, JP.
No,
JP.
Sorry, he does not listen,
Aw,
unfortunately.
man. Hey, maybe in the future when we blow up. But
When we.
When we both-
yeah, when you guys blow up.
Thank you.
Uh,
That's what I thought.
I've been on this podcast for 2 hours. I feel like I'm a host now. But I kind of just remember this moment where I was kind of wrestling with it and thinking like, man, are we doing this? And it was a episode about what to look for in a girl. And it was just crazy to me because it felt like he was just describing Jaylin basically. And I had this clarity of like, oh my gosh, like this is like the real deal. And like,
Yeah.
it's go time. Like we're doing this. And I actually wrote some of the things down in that episode. He was talking about, and guys, if you're listening, this is what to look for in a woman. He was talking about you gotta look for someone honest. They should be modest, peaceful, diligent, hardworking, respectful, responsible, wise, faithful, and then last but most important, like completely and wholly committed to Jesus. And like it was just crazy because just sitting there listening to it, I'm like, this is like Jaylin. Like this is her. Like these things they're
Aw.
talking about. And I just never felt like so sure like that it was time, you know, to get engaged and
Mm.
really jump in. And yeah, you know, there's some nerves coming up with the wedding and stuff. I think that's normal.
Yeah.
But
Of
course.
but we're so excited, and I just
Yeah.
you know, I feel so confident in God's calling towards this. So
Yeah.
we can't wait.
Yeah, it's so true. Like I think, you know, when people go through like relationship drama, because I feel like at this age, like when you're in college, like you go through a lot of that, you know, like God really does make pathways for us.
Mhm.
Like, and, you know, I can't really sit here and share this story without saying like God's hand was really in all of it. Like it's crazy, like how much we
Truly.
kept
Yeah.
kind of getting pushed together. And
All that stuff would not have happened.
yeah.
If, like
so, just like, you know, trust that God has a plan, and even when it's hard and you don't really see what's going on because we can't see the future, we serve a God who's really good and he's really big and he's got you. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, love it. Really appreciate you guys.
Okay, hold on.
And-
I gotta
oh.
rapid fire some questions for him real
Okay.
quick.
Oh,
Just
rapid
about
fire.
wedding. Because
Okay.
Yes.
we had to talk about that.
true.
Because that is
Sure.
like the little bow at the end.
Mm.
But like
Mhm.
we've talked a while. So rapid fire some questions. Okay.
Okay.
So when is the
Hear that?
wedding?
Hear that? Rapid fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
sorry.
few words.
I'm so sorry.
When is the wedding?
July 13th.
July
July
13th
13th.
at
Wh-
3:30 p.m.
Early ceremony.
Open
yeah.
invite to everyone listening. Just kidding.
And where is it at?
It's in Cottage Grove at the Ferber Farm. It's like
Okay,
a refurbished
so
dairy farm.
is it a barn?
It is a
It is a
barn.
barn
Nice.
with hopefully good working air conditioning.
I was gonna ask. That was gonna be
Yes.
my next question. Air
Can I
condition-
say a bad word? If
Yes.
it's the title. They're called Big Ass Fans. So that's the name of the company. They have big ass fans.
Well, and air conditioners.
And air conditioners.
Okay. Okay.
Great.
Nice. What are you guys doing for food?
Pasta
Pasta.
buffet.
Love
Okay.
it.
Nice. When are you guys leaving?
Like the barn.
Yeah, like the wedding.
Everybody has to be out by 10:30 because it's
Okay.
a Thursday.
Oh, right. Right. Nice. And then are you guys doing honeymoon right after or no?
Sure
Yes,
are.
we're going to Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. We're
'Cause
going
she's the only
glamping.
10 he
You
sees.
think-
Word.
Word.
Yeah, we're going glamping. In other words, sort of like a
It's like a
motel
cabin, pretty
type
much.
Hey,
thing
you gotta
in the
show Joey
woods.
this thing.
It's
after
cool.
we're
It's like a
done.
dome.
It's kinda
type
sick.
deal.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
We
a
got like the hot tub
yurt.
outside, the view. So
It's pretty sick.
Because we
I think
really
like
like
a-
hiking.
yeah, I think it's like a clear top, so you can like
Mhm.
see the stars.
Oh,
with the
dude,
bed and
that's so
stuff.
sick.
So
That's
it'll be
awesome.
cool.
Okay, and then
Can't wait.
last question. What percentage of the wedding has been planned by Caleb?
Maybe almost 1%.
There you go.
I have
Okay.
I have a follow up question. What percentage of the wedding's been planned by Jaylin?
40 maybe?
85%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? All right.
85%.
I'm not a mathematician, but like that doesn't add up to
No,
100.
No. Shout out to Amy Shu.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's what I
so
thought.
sick.
A lot of
That's what I
so
thought.
sick.
a lot of planning
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
Nice, because
I've
you were in
been
the
helping.
show.
We help.
Because I was in Anything Goes, like they said, and
I'm
you
like
know,
the president. I just either veto
busy.
or pass it.
Dude,
you know?
that's okay. That's what I do too.
Yeah,
And sometimes I'm
great.
like, I feel bad, and then other times I'm like, I don't think I have an opinion on this stuff.
right.
That's
Normally
why-
I'm just like
Yeah.
whatever.
That's why our bachelor parties are better and easier to
Oh.
plan.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
Laser tag.
all right.
All
Well,
right.
what I was gonna say before Joey cut me off
What?
is that
Those
appreciate
were
you.
good questions.
You're right. I was
They
say
were important stuff.
Yeah.
I appreciate
I'm
you
just gonna
guys.
keep interrupting.
Shut up.
Now we're gonna get people bombing our wedding. Thanks a lot, Joey.
I appreciate
You're
you
welcome.
guys. And I have loved getting to know you, Caleb, in the last couple of years. Kylie and I have really looked up to you guys.
Aw.
And yeah,
We appreciate
we're so
you
excited.
too.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on.
We always have the guests sign us off. So at the same time, you guys are going to say, thanks for listening to the 245 podcast. You guys can do that whenever you're ready.
All right, here
This
we
is
go.
a test, a relationship test. This is like our thing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thanks for listening.
What? You didn't count.
That was the prep gesture.
Failure.
I'm just showing
I
you a
thought
prep.
you were counting to
Kill
3.
was conducting.
Just
here.
one prep gesture. Here we
Okay.
go.
Thanks for listening to the 245 podcast.
Catch you on the flippity flip.
Peace out, gangster.